What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be redoing my top 10 movies of all time. In the number 10 spot is Ocean's 11. This one, it's a classic movie. The cast alone is enough to put it on the top 10. Add in the fact that the plot is fantastic and the comedy in this movie is next level. It's easily number 10 on my list. Could be a little bit higher, but some of the movies above this are just too good to knock down to number 10. So this is where Ocean's 11 will be for the time being, number 10. At number 9 is Die Hard. Similar to Ocean's 11, Die Hard is an absolute classic, with classic characters and a plot that is immediately recognizable by anybody. You say terrorists take over a building, boom, Die Hard. Anyone would get it. Hans Gruber is one of my favorite movie villains of all time, and the plot, while a little bit crazy sometimes, is just absolutely fantastic, and you're engaged for the whole movie. It's a fantastic movie. Easily my number 9 spot. At the number 8 position is Vice. This political political story about the life of Dick Cheney and his rise through the White House and all of Washington is, at face value, wouldn't think is very good, but I absolutely loved it. Seeing the behind the scenes of how a vice president was able to amass the amount of power he did, and Christian Bale's acting is absolutely fantastic. It took me halfway through the movie to even realize it was Christian Bale. An absolutely fantastic movie. The comedy parts in it, while small, are absolutely hilarious and just shows the corruption of the government sometimes, which is something that's getting all too true in today's world. Number 7 is a movie that is controversial in my top 10 with my family, at least, because they believe it's not the best sports movie, and I only have room on my top 10 for one sports-based movie, and that spot, for me, goes to Coach Carter. I just think it's a much better movie than Remember the Titans, in my personal opinion, and I think it's got more relevance to today's world than Remember the Titans does today. I really enjoy Samuel L. Jackson's performance in this movie, and I think the plot, while being basketball-focused, is able to address a lot more topics than just basketball and more to broader life, and I think being adapted from a true story it's a fantastic movie, and it's a comfort movie, really. I'll watch it on Netflix every now and then, and I'll always enjoy it. Number 6, Angels and Demons. The second movie in the Da Vinci Code trilogy is by far the best one. It takes the general idea from the first Da Vinci Code movie and blows it up to 11. The plot alone is absolutely fantastic. I enjoy conspiracy theories involving the church, and this is a conspiracy theory involving the church if I've ever seen one. And the fact that the villain does win for a good amount of time, it's a fantastic movie. And, I can't say enough good things about this. Tom Hanks is absolutely fantastic in this movie. So is Ewan McGregor. It's a fantastic movie. Easily number 6 on my top 10. Number 5, Bullet Train. This action comedy is absolutely fantastic. I went into this movie thinking, it'll be a nice, enjoyable 2 or whatever, however long it was, like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and about 15, 20 minutes in, I was like, oh my god, this is fantastic. And for the entirety of the movie, I kept saying, this was fantastic. This was fantastic. Over and over and over. Because I couldn't believe how amazing a movie that we just picked out random on Netflix to watch for that night was turning out to be. And the word gratuitous violence could be used in this movie. The amount of murder and blood and gore in this movie is absolutely... But it's hilarious, though, because Brad Pitt's character is saying sorry the whole time. It's just... His character is absolutely fantastic. Lemon and Tangerine are hilarious. every character except the one girl that wears pink, she's kind of annoying, but other than that, every character is really good, and it's an absolutely hilarious movie. Perfect for my number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4, one spot off the podium, is Batman The Dark Knight. This movie was number 1 for me for a very long time. But in the past year, past year or so, 3 movies have jumped ahead of it. And since the last time I made this video, I think 1 or 2 movies have jumped above this. I don't remember exactly where I placed it. But I mean, this movie is absolutely fantastic. The best superhero movie ever made. It's got one of the best villains ever in Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, this is another one like Bullet Train. I was 10 minutes, I was this is fantastic. I can't believe how good this is. And you get to halfway through the movie, and you're like, oh my god, that could be a whole movie by itself. And then you get to the second act and the third act, and you're like, oh my god, there's still more movie. And it's just never stops, and it's absolutely fantastic. All the characters are brilliant. There's not a single character that's bad or annoying. Absolutely fantastic movie. Easy for my number 4 position, but just barely beaten out by the 3 above. And it's the first of the 3 Christopher Nolan movies that show up in my top 10, so you can see how much I love him if he's got 3 in the top 4. The first movie in the top 3 is Interstellar. The second of the Christopher Nolan movies in this top 10 of mine, and it's a fantastic movie. I think Matthew McConaughey, usually known for his more rom-com movies, plays the hell out of his character in this movie, and it's absolutely fantastic. All the mind-bending science, I can't even come to words with how amazing this movie is. I watched this for the first time in my AP Bio class once we finished the AP test, and man, it was an absolutely fantastic movie. I watched it again that same night at home with my family, and they loved it too. I mean, it's a long movie. Christopher Nolan makes long movies. It's 3 hours long, but, I mean, you don't even feel the time. It just flies by. It's an absolutely fantastic movie, and the ending will leave your mind all tripped out. I mean, like a good Christopher Nolan movie will. I mean, this is an absolutely fantastic movie. Easy spot for the 3rd place for my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Coming into the number 2 position, Oppenheimer. This was my number 1 movie until like 2 weeks ago when it was dethroned. This movie is absolutely fantastic. This year I could see it winning a new record for the amount of Oscars. It could win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Lead Actor, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Practical Effects, Best Score. But I mean, this movie blew me away. I saw it in IMAX opening night, and I could not say enough good things about this movie. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. You wouldn't think a movie about the creation of the atomic bomb and J. Robert Oppenheimer would be that good of a movie, but man, it delivers on all fronts. It's an absolutely fantastic movie, and I could not recommend it more. But it's edged out just a bit by my number 1 movie. Brings us to the number 1 movie of all time, in my opinion, Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This movie, I went into it with my friends watching it thinking, oh, this will be a fun movie to watch, and I'll enjoy it, and it'll be okay, and then we'll just go home and it'll be fine. But about 30 minutes into this movie, I was like, this is really good. And it just kept building. And building like this is getting really, really good. And then it was getting to fantastic and amazing and near perfect. This movie hits on all levels for me. The story is absolutely fantastic, adding to the world and the lore of one of my favorite universes, the Hunger Game universes. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic movie. It gets you to root for Coriolanus Snow. If you've read or watched any of the Hunger Games movies, you know Snow is the worst. But this movie gets you to root for him. I read the book before seeing the movie, and I was like, this was a pretty good book, but the movie blew me away. It was a faithful adaptation, but it added little pieces that just blew me away. The acting was absolutely fantastic. The story was, everything about this movie was absolutely perfect. It's a great way to end out the year with my new updated top 10 list. A lot of things have changed for me in this last year of movies, and very happy with where my top 10 list has ended. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next year for my 2024 version of my top 10 movies list. I'm sure things will change because I'm a very indecisive person. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.